Hi everyone, it's me Amanda with Under Our Umbrella, and I'm here today to show you guys how I make my homemade dishwasher detergent. I started doing this maybe about a couple years ago. We were kind of going through a financial tight spot, and I really hate washing dishes by hand. So I wanted to see if there was a cheaper way to wash dishes in my dishwasher without creating a huge sudsy mess everywhere. So I did some Googling, because that's what you do, right? And I found this recipe for dishwashing detergent. Now I have kind of tweaked it to my own liking. For instance, the recipe that I found had borax in it, and I like to keep borax off of eating surfaces just because there is some concern about whether or not it's really environmentally sound. So I do use it in my dishwasher or my laundry soap, but I don't want to use it on anything that's going to wind up with our food on it and then, you know, that food be put in our bodies. So I stay away from doing the borax in this. So it's super simple, super simple. 3 ingredients, just 3. So we're gonna use baking soda, citric acid, which you can find like the Lemmy Shine in the store. It is kind of the same thing, but it was a lot cheaper to buy a big bag of citric acid like this. I mean, the bag was a little bit more expensive, but in the long run, it's going to be a lot cheaper to use this. And it's also like food grade, and I know that this is going to be something that'll be okay for my family to ingest if there is any kind of a film left on my dishes. Speaking of film left on your dishes, you definitely want to make sure that you are using a rinse aid. What we use for a rinse aid in our dishwasher is actually just straight up vinegar. It works the best. You know, the rinse aid that you buy in the store is really expensive, and you know, vinegar is so cheap. Why not just use something that's more economical? So like I said, we're going to be using the baking soda, the citric acid, and we're also going to use some kosher salt. So I'm going to go ahead and get it started, and you can see how I make this. So we're going to take our measuring cup, and we're going to get 2 cups of the baking soda. Now this is, I mean, if you noticed, I had a little bit extra fall into the bowl. It's not the end of the world. And I'm actually not even at a full 2 cups here. I do have a box of some more that I can top this off with. Maybe, if it'll cooperate. This is why I like the bags a little bit better, because it's a little bit easier to get it out. Okay, so that's 2 cups of baking soda. I just dump that right in my bowl. Now, if you notice I didn't pour up from high, it's because the baking soda will kick up and create a dust, and kind of doesn't taste the greatest. So just be aware of that. Now we're going to take our citric acid. And it's a brand new bag. I've never even opened it before. And I'm going to take 1 cup of citric acid. Now this is a thing that you're also not going to want to inhale if you can help it. Normally I would make this outside just because of the dust it can kick up. But it's Wisconsin, and it's cold and gross outside. So I am definitely not trying to be outside if I can help it. That is a cup of the citric acid. And then we're going to take a cup of the kosher salt. And just pour that right in our measuring cup. And it's kind of clumpy, but no big thing, because we're going to mix it all together. Now my favorite mixing utensils are my hands. So I'm going to take my rings off so I'm not getting gunk everywhere. And I'm just going to kind of mix this together, making sure to scoop up the whole bottom of the bowl. You could use a spatula if you wanted. I'm not too worried about it. And this way I know I can easily break up any clumps that are in here. Can you find me a funnel?
Yeah, where'd that go?
To go get a battery for the copper. Okay. Children are doing chores right now while I'm doing my chores. So, got this all mixed up. Yep, that works. Sent my wonderful son to get me a funnel. Sorry, this is a little wonky. I was trying to get my tripod to work with me and it didn't do great. So, that's why I'm having to bend over a lot. All right. Now I got a funnel. I would like one with a little bit bigger opening than this, but it's not the end of the world. It'll work. And then I'm just going to take the funnel. And if you see the dust kicking up from here, like that's kind of why I normally do this outside. So I'm going to kind of tap this to get the stuff moving through it. This is going to take for a while, I think. So I just store it in mason jars because they're kind of all over my house, and it's a way to also keep it from getting moisture in here, because you want to make sure you don't get any moisture in here so that it doesn't clump up, because otherwise you're going to be dealing with a big, huge, solid mass of dish detergent. So, you know, just put a lid on it. We keep it right under the sink, and we haven't noticed any real issues. I did have a couple batches that got pretty solid when I was making it with the borax in it. Hey, bud, can you get me a chopstick?
Chopstick?
Life hack. If you're having trouble getting things through your funnel, grab a chopstick or a skewer. Shove it in there. So, this makes 4 cups of cleaner, of detergent. So, this will actually last my family somewhere in the realm of like 4 to 6 months, depending on, you know, how much dishes we're doing and all that other stuff. So, I haven't had to make this for like 6 months. And you can also make this on a load by load basis. This is just not working. So I'm not going to make you guys sit and watch me struggle with this. But it's really awesome. This will probably fill about 1.5 jars of my mason jars here. And you use 1 tablespoon for every load you do. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, it's enough. So you do your 1 tablespoon. You make sure you have your vinegar and your rinse aid. Like for our dishwasher, there's a little area where you can add the rinse aid right in there. I know some people have to use the little cups that come. You can even just take a little cup and set it right side up in the top rack of your dishwasher with a little bit of vinegar in the bottom of it. And that would work as a rinse aid for your dishwasher as well. What the vinegar does, it helps any kind of powdery residue just come right off, and it leaves things nice and sparkly and clean and wonderful. The salt is in here as kind of like an abrasion type thing. I've seen some recipes that call for table salt, and I've tried that. I do like the kosher salt better. I think that it kind of gives it a more gritty texture so that it's able to kind of scrub the dishes a little bit better. But yeah, so that's how you make homemade dish detergent. Sorry it didn't work out with me putting it in the jar, but such is life, right? I will be making some more videos on household cleaners. Let me know if there's anything you're interested in knowing about, any tough cleaning projects. I can speak English, I swear. Let me know about any tough cleaning projects you have, and I will try to do some videos on how to tackle them in a more natural, less harmful chemically way. Chemically, that's a word, right? It's totally a word. We'll go with it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's all for now. Bye.